Hey guys, The Sports Entertainer here, back with some more wrestling news. Join us as The Sports Entertainer looks at all the breaking wrestling news and rumors you need to know, including WWE loses sponsors because of Vince McMahon, the Bloodline may be getting a new member as Booker T is trying to get Jacob Fatu signed by WWE, Sasha Banks and AJ Lee Royal Rumble returns, and much more. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you never miss out on an episode. Nia Jax on joining the Bloodline. Now, former Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax was interviewed by Steve Fall of WrestlingNews.co ahead of the 2024 Royal Rumble tonight, and among the topics that were covered, the question was asked to Nia Jax if she would be open to joining the Bloodline. Here was Nia's response, quote, "I wouldn't say no, I'm always there if they need me, but they're killing it. There's nothing they can't do. It's incredible to watch them." Now, another noteworthy bit from this recent Nia Jax interview was regarding her canceled match with former WWE star and current AEW star Dean Ambrose, or Jon Moxley. Quote, "I think intergender wrestling is great, the Dean Ambrose story. It's funny because we were scheduled for that, but the particular state we were in wouldn't allow it. It wasn't necessarily drama behind the scenes, the state wouldn't allow that match, so we couldn't happen, and then it kind of fell from there. Dean is an incredible talent, it was an honor just getting in the ring with him. Look where he's going now, he's off doing incredible things." Now, in all honesty, that storyline that was apparently supposed to have been so much more between Nia Jax and Dean Ambrose is probably one of the reasons why Ambrose chose to quit WWE in the first place, as he wanted no part in storylines like that, but it's nice to hear Nia Jax have some positive words for Ambrose, and let us know if you guys want to see Nia Jax eventually join the Bloodline faction. Would she be a good fit in the group, or would that potentially be a really bad idea? Next up, some breaking news as Vince McMahon resigns from TKO and WWE. Now, as you might have noticed in the intro of the video where we went over a few of the news stories for today's video, we highlighted that WWE lost a sponsor because of Vince McMahon's allegations, and we'll get into that bit of news in a minute, which could change with what we're about to tell you. It's breaking news, guys, as Vince McMahon has officially resigned from his position or role as the executive chairman of TKO and WWE. Vince McMahon is no longer affiliated with WWE in any way, which is news that a lot of fans were eventually expecting to hear with these recent horrific allegations surrounding Vince, but it certainly happened quickly. In an exclusive article from Deadline, which was posted last night, Vince McMahon released the following statement regarding his resignation from TKO and WWE, quote, "I stand by my prior statement that Ms. Grant's lawsuit is replete with lies, obscene made-up instances that never occurred, and is a vindictive distortion of the truth. I intend to vigorously defend myself against these baseless accusations and look forward to clearing my name. However, out of respect for the WWE Universe, the extraordinary TKO business and its board members and shareholders, partners and constituents, and all of the employees and superstars who helped make WWE into the global leader it is today, I have decided to resign from my executive chairmanship and the TKO board of directors, effective immediately." Here was a very noteworthy bit from the Deadline article, and it's clear it's still to be determined who will be taking McMahon's role as executive chairman. Quote, "Today, TKO referred Deadline to McMahon's statement when contracted for more on the situation. As for who may take over McMahon's now vacated executive chairman gig at the company, or even if that position will continue, it is all TBD, sources says. WWE boss Nick Khan tonight told staffers in an internal email that McMahon had resigned and will no longer have a role with TKO Group Holdings or WWE. Now, the official statement that was put out by WWE President Nick Khan to staff was as followed, quote, "I wanted to inform you that Vince McMahon has tendered his resignation from his positions as TKO Executive Chairman and on the TKO Board of Directors. He will no longer have a role with TKO Group Holdings or WWE, Nick Khan." Now, PW Insider would add this information on the Vince McMahon resigning news through WrestleOps on Twitter or X. and for anyone who feels like people who were close to Vince McMahon behind the scenes in WWE should be punished as well and removed from the company, clearly Endeavor feel the same way so that WWE can have a fresh start. Quote, "There is a belief, and depending on who you are, a concern that Endeavor may sweep out anyone close to Vince McMahon and his remaining team in order to have a complete, fresh sweep of the company going forward. There were employees who exited the company when Vince initially resigned who returned when he forced his way back in. For those who have remained with WWE post-Endeavor purchase, the belief among those we've spoken with tonight is their connection to McMahon may be a major negative going forward for their WWE status." Now, it seems as though Vince McMahon could be getting the Benoit treatment by WWE, as WrestleOps revealed on Twitter or X last night that Vince McMahon's profile has been eradicated from WWE's official website. And another interesting bit of news shared through WrestleOps by PW Insider is, quote, "There are some in WWE hoping that this Vince McMahon's resignation opens the door for Stephanie McMahon to return. A lot of fans in the comments of that post are seemingly all for the idea of Stephanie McMahon returning to WWE, and perhaps now that Vince is gone, that door for Stephanie's return will open up." Now, an interesting bit of news was also revealed by WrestleOps last night, as this is the first time in WWE's history that a McMahon isn't working for the company, a post that got a lot of attention, but that could be changing if Stephanie McMahon or even Shane returns in the near future. Quote, "As of tonight, no member of the McMahon family is officially working for WWE for the first time ever, ending a run that dates back to the 1950s founding of Capitol Wrestling by Jess and Vincent J. McMahon. Let us know your thoughts on Vince McMahon resigning from WWE and no longer being affiliated with the company in any way. And do you feel like McMahon's already starting to get the Benoit treatment by WWE? And as well, would you guys like to see Stephanie or Shane McMahon return to WWE?" Next up, WWE loses sponsors because of Vince McMahon. Well, things change extremely quickly in WWE, and while WWE did lose a sponsor last night, Slim Jim to be specific, they have since returned to WWE as a sponsor following Vince McMahon's sudden resignation from WWE. However, this was the original post on Twitter or X by WrestleOps that was put out last night before SmackDown amid the Vince McMahon allegations when Slim Jim initially revealed they would be pausing promotion activities with WWE. Quote, "WWE's partnership with Slim Jim was officially the largest sponsorship deal in wrestling history. Today, Slim Jim states they will be pausing promotional activities with WWE in light of disturbing allegations against Vince McMahon." However, this morning, Slim Jim officially returned to WWE, with WrestleOps posting this, quote, "Slim Jim has issued the following statement. After the departure of Vince McMahon and discussions with WWE TKO senior leadership, Slim Jim has decided to re-enter the hashtag Royal Rumble. Slim Jim is a massive sponsor of WWE, so it would have been a massive loss for the company financially if they continued to pause sponsoring WWE, so Vince resigning was probably the only way they would return so quickly." Next up, Booker T trying to get Jacob Fatu signed by WWE. Now, some fans feel the Bloodline is incomplete now that the likes of main event Jey Uso and Sami Zayn have departed the faction, but if Booker T has anything to say about it, the Bloodline could get a new member if Jacob Fatu is signed by WWE, and Booker T revealed on his Hall of Fame podcast recently that he's working on getting Jacob signed by WWE. Quote, "That's my game plan, man. That's my game plan. I'm working as hard as I possibly can. Let me just say it right now, I'm giving a big shout out to Jacob Fatu. This is a guy who's been working his ass off out there on the indie scene, grinding. The thing is, sometimes we make mistakes, but when we atone for those mistakes, that's when somebody just needs to give you a chance. And for me, someone gave me a chance and look what it's done for me. Someone needs to give Jacob Fatu a chance, and I'm going to be working in his corner as his advisor to get him all the way to that next level and over it if we possibly can. Jacob, if you're listening to this, just stick with me on this ride." Let us know if you guys feel Jacob Fatu should be signed by WWE soon. Next up, Sasha Banks and AJ Lee Royal Rumble returns. Now, this is all purely speculation at this point, especially considering we had just reported in yesterday's video that neither Mercedes Moné or Okada are expected for the Royal Rumble, but Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné took to social media last night through her Instagram stories and posted a photo of herself along with AJ Lee, with a lot of fans speculating that this could mean both of these major women's division stars could be returning tonight at the Royal Rumble. However, let's not read more into this, as Sasha Banks could just be trolling fans here, but nonetheless it's added a bit more hype to the Women's Royal Rumble match, to say the least. Well guys, that's it for today's major wrestling news. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you'll never miss out on an episode. Finally, if you haven't already, give us a follow on Twitter at TSE Wrestling, and we will see you guys in the next video.